How's it going? How are you enjoying your first day at Limitless? Yay! Good. I have a question. How many of you know what it feels like to feel like you're on top of the world? Raise your hand. Oh, come on. Let's see it. We've all had times where we feel on top of the world. How many of you also know what it feels like to have the weight of the world on your shoulder? Raise your hand. Or shoulders. Those of us have two. Yeah, that is not such a happy place to be in. What if, though, today, this message that I'm going to share with you could teach you how to go from feeling crushed to being conqueror of your world? If that sounds good to you, let me hear it. All right. A few months ago, I went on a family vacation. Actually, it was with Limitless, but we took all of our children, our older children, I should say, and our son-in-law, to Peru to hike the Lars Trail and to visit Machu Picchu. And before we left, I had done a lot of preparing and visualizing what I wanted this trip to look like in my mind. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip for me. And I had a deep desire to summit with my kids. They're all young teenagers in very good shape, but I wanted to summit that trail. When you summit, you're at above 15,000 feet of sea level. And I wanted to summit with them. And I set that expectation, and we got all of our preparations made, and we went to Peru. And the first day on the trail, it did not take long for them to just basically outrun me. I kept looking for them and just going, I'm going to catch up with them, I'm going to catch up with them. And we ended that first day, spent the night in our tent, and woke up. I was encouraged this time. All right, this time, I'm not letting them get this far ahead of me. So we start out on the trail. It's beautiful. This is the hardest day of hiking. This is a 12-mile hike straight up. And it didn't take long, again, before I couldn't see them. And it didn't take long for me to look around and find myself in a pretty low energy. At this point on the trail, I ended up alone. I looked around. There were 25 of us on this trip, and I looked around and found myself all alone. There's no one there to buoy me up or to encourage me. The pack on my back felt like it weighed 80 pounds. It was warm. It was hot. My body was tired. And my experiences in that moment were dictating to me that my dream of having this lifetime, once-in-a-lifetime, life-changing experience of summiting with my children was impossible. But the lesson that I want to share with you today, this lesson on roots and fruits, that's the presentation that it's called. It was one of the most impactful messages for me at my very first Limitless. Whose first time at Limitless is this? Yeah. If you will listen to this lesson, if you can understand the power in this lesson, it will change your life. You will be able to step into a place of empowerment and fulfillment and take control of your life. Does that sound good to you guys? How many of you would like to be able to just step into a place of total control in your life? Raise your hand. Yeah, good. So the other day, I was on another hike. We like to hike in our family. We hike a lot. This hike was just close to my home, and we had I have 6 kids, guys. So when I talk about all of my children, I have like my older kids and I have my little kids. And we had all of us on this hike this day. And I was walking up the mountain, and I came out from behind these trees, and I look in front of me, and I see this huge boulder in front of me. And growing out of that boulder was this, so there's a crack in this boulder. And growing out of that boulder was this huge tree. Okay, huge. It was a huge boulder. The tree might have been not quite so huge. But there was this tree growing out of this boulder. And I stopped and I looked at this tree and my mouth dropped. And my kids came around the corner and I said, "Come here, you guys, come here. You have to look at this. Look at this tree." And they're 6. "Yeah, Mom, that's cool." They did not understand. They were not nearly as impressed with me about trying to figure out how that tree grew out of that boulder. Now, this tree, or this rock, was this tree's experience. What was this boulder? The trees. That's right. Now, I can't imagine that experience was really easy. I would imagine it was rather hard. Would you agree? Like our lives. Are sometimes our life experiences pretty hard? What are some experiences you can have in life that could seem hard to you? Raise your hand. Let's get some shares.
Being rejected.
Can you stand up? Tell us your name. Hi, Annette.
Being rejected.
Yeah, can that seem like a hard experience? All right, what else? Stand up and tell us your name.
My name's Stefan.
Hey, Stefan.
Failing.
Failing, okay. So, as I looked at this tree and I thought about this tree's experience and how it was kind of hard, I started realizing that trees produce fruit, right? Maybe. Okay, this tree produces fruit. And a tree can produce delicious fruit, and it can also produce bitter fruit. So let me just ask you for a minute. What kind of fruit would you like to eat? Delicious fruit. My daughter might say bitter because she loves lemons, but there's a difference between bitter and sour, right? So delicious fruit is what we want to create in our lives. And what does that look like? Let me just share with you first. This fruit represents our what? Our results. That's right. Okay, everybody turn to your neighbor, give them a high five and say, "I want to get positive, delicious results." Let's just talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about results. What are some results that we can experience in our lives? And I don't care if we can have bitter and delicious, so just tell me. Go ahead and yell them out. Bankruptcy. That is a very bitter result. Good. That's a good one. What else? Divorce. Yeah, that's a bitter one. I didn't hear you. Heartache. Dying. That's a very permanent result. Rejection. Yeah, let's get some examples of maybe some delicious fruit. Go ahead and share yours, though. Go and share what you had on your mind. Health issues. What kind of results can we get in our health? Oh, good health. What? Vitality. Fitness.
Winning the lottery.
Winning the lottery. That's an awesome one. Grandchildren. Oh, you guys. I have a daughter that's been married for a year, and I'm ready for those grandbabies to start coming. No, I give her pressure. No, I'm just kidding. I ask her if she knows what causes that every time I see her. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, I have a question. Where does the fruit of this tree get its results? From the roots. And these roots for us represent I always do this wrong, you guys. Okay, what do they represent? Our beliefs. And similar to our fruit of delicious and bitter fruit, we can also have positive, empowering beliefs, or we can have what? Negative, limiting beliefs. That's right. And here at Limitless, we talk about this thing called belief breakthrough a lot. And belief breakthrough shifts those limiting beliefs to empowering positive beliefs. I'm going to ask you to just turn to your neighbor for a minute and talk about the difference between a limiting belief and an empowering belief. Ready? Go. If you have some really good ones that you would like to share, raise your hand. All right. As you're talking with each other, who has some really good ones that they would like to share? Some really good turnarounds from a limiting belief someone could have to a empowering good belief they could have. Hey, Nathan.
Mine was that I'm alone because I didn't actually have a partner. And
Oh,
yeah.
Good. So did you come up with a great positive turnaround for
Yeah,
that?
that we're all connected.
Awesome. You guys give him a round of applause. That was a great one. And that was a quick shift and one that he was able to do by himself. That is so amazing. Okay, so our beliefs lead to our choices. Our what? So it is a truth that what we believe will determine the choices that we make. Do you agree? Yeah. So, let me think about when we understand the power of this equation right here. It's not written like an equation, but oracles will love this. Beliefs plus choices equal results. I'm going to invite you back with me on that mountain in Peru. I was there in that moment, and my experiences were dictating my results. But why? Only because I allowed them to. This is where we get confused sometimes, you guys. Let me ask you a question. Does this fruit get its nourishment directly from the soil? Or in this place, the rock? No, where does it get it from? The roots, the beliefs. See, sometimes we in our world, we think that our experiences dictate our results. That is baloney. That keeps us stuck. That does not allow us to be free. So in that moment, I had a choice to make. And I remembered, I took a deep breath in like this. Everybody do it with me, so I'm not up here looking funny. In through your nose, and release it out through your mouth. And as I did that, I allowed myself to get some clarity. And I asked myself 2 questions. What do I want to feel? And what do I want to believe? Why are those 2 questions important? It's just, yes. Let me ask you this question. When I was over here, I was thinking, I can't do this. This is too hard. I can't have my dream. This stinks. I was in this very negative place. I was feeling emotions of sadness, hopelessness, frustration, overwhelm. Let me ask you, in that space, was it ever going to be possible that I was going to summit with my children? Never. Never, not even a possibility, because I had already chosen my beliefs, and therefore I know what my results are going to be. So this is the power in this lesson. In that moment, I took that deep breath. I asked those questions. And even though I wasn't feeling happy, excited, capable, strong. I chose in to those things. I was able to at least say, this is what I want. And I remembered what they felt like. And I chose into things like, I am capable. I can do this. I am strong. I looked back at where I had come from, and I allowed the beauty that I saw there to feed that emotion in me. And I started taking one step at a time. And guess what happened to me in that moment? Just guess. Once my beliefs shifted, what happened? My choices shifted, and guess what else happened? My backpack, instead of feeling like it was 80 pounds, finally started feeling normal again. My body, guess what else was an interesting experience? Several weeks before, not even a whole 3 weeks before we're scheduled to go on our trip, I fell down the stairs in my basement. I fell down the last 4 or 5 stairs, and I sprained my ankle bad. I've never sprung my ankle that badly before. And there was a lot of things that I did to prepare for my trip to keep my ankle from hindering any of my progress. And I remembered that I had had that experience, and I remembered that my ankle was not hurting. And I expressed gratitude for that in that moment. I expressed gratitude for my body that I was even there, that I was being allowed to have this experience. I saw the beauty around me, and I made choices to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I let go of the expectation that I have had of summiting with my children. And guess what other miracle I experienced? I summited with my children. And I can tell you, I can stand right here this morning and tell you that I have no idea on God's green earth how I was able to do that. Except for that, I changed my beliefs, I made different choices, and I experienced positive, delicious results in my life. Here's another secret that I have been finding to have incredible, powerful results in my life. I said once before that I let go of my expectation of summiting with my kids. Because what if I hadn't summited that day? If I would have chosen to disappointment again and sadness and overwhelm, what would my memory be like on that once-in-a-lifetime trip with my kids if that's what I had chosen into?
It would have created more limiting beliefs, and it would have just been linked with sadness and disappointment.
Yes, exactly. Is that what I wanted to create? No, I can stand up here with you today and tell you that in that moment, I absolutely, if I had not summited with my kids, every belief that I chose into would have remained. All of the emotion, the gratitude, the excitement, the same emotions would have been experienced had I summited with my children or summited that mountain hours after my children or like I did during it. It did not change. So although it's good to dream, let go of expectations of how that happens. That's actually part of becoming unconditional. Part of what? Right. Now that I've shared that experience with you, I'm actually going to give you an opportunity to have this similar experience right now in this moment. So I'm going to ask you to have a paper and a pencil close so that you can pick it up when I tell you, and I'm going to have you set it down on the floor so that you can be open and clear and relaxed. I'm going to go ahead and have you, I'll give you just a second to get situated. Go ahead and close your eyes. I invite you to take that deep breath. Why is that deep breath so important? For me, it gave me clarity. It gave me time to slow down, to think. When you're ready, I'm going to invite you to ask yourselves this question. What are some results in your life that are happening right now that you don't like? When you have thought about some of those results and they're clear in your mind, raise your hand. All right, go ahead and put them down. Keep your eyes closed. As you think of those results, actually just find one. What is the one that is the most bitter for you? When you have that, raise your hand. Okay, go ahead and put your hand down. What was the last experience that created this result? Raise your hand when you're clear with that. All right, I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. Those of you with your hands up can put them down. And in that moment, what is the belief about yourself that you created in your mind? When it's clear, I'm going to invite you to quietly open your eyes, get your paper, and write it down. When that's written down, close your eyes just for a second and ask yourself, how is this belief producing negative results in other areas of your life? And you can go ahead and write those down. Create some awareness for yourself of what it's costing you to believe that. In a moment, I'm going to ask for some vulnerability for you to share that limiting belief and one or two of the things that it's costing you in your life. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to finish that list. All right, let's get some shares. Who would like to share with us? Okay, go ahead and stand up. Tell us your name. Hey, Dylan. What is the limiting belief, and what is some of the costs that it's having in your life?
Thank you. One of the beliefs is for me to be here in many different forms and ways. Something that did happen to me within a month and a half ago, I was in a rollover car accident, and it was very devastating, but I wore a seatbelt, which saved my life. And I saved a couple others in the process. And so my belief is that I was supposed to be there at that moment, because I was the only one strong enough to keep going.
Awesome. That's a great turnaround. Thank you for sharing that. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, who else has something that they would like to share? What limiting belief have you been struggling, and what are some of the costs?
Thank you. My name is Grant Thompson.
Hey, Grant.
wonder what that felt like. Thank you.
It feels awesome, doesn't it?
Um,
Yeah, we can. Let's do it again. Ready?
my name's Grant.
Hey, Grant.
Thank you. That's amazing. I have vulnerabilities. I have a lot of limiting beliefs as well. And one of them was, I have a YouTube channel. Some of you have already recognized me for that, which is great. I thank you. I'm a naturally introverted person. It's really hard for me to come out. But the things that I was starting to put on YouTube gained a lot of traction, a lot of success. I saw a lot of lives being influenced, and so I felt like I had a responsibility to keep going. And I also felt like the more effort I put into what I was building, the bigger it built. But I also felt like if I stopped working, the whole thing would collapse. So I felt a lot of pressure on myself. So the belief that I developed was that my work that I was doing was more important than taking care of myself.
And how did that show up in your life?
It's actually, that's why I'm here right now, is because I'm just addressing that right now, and I'm starting to change that to feel like I am more important than my work, because that's translated into putting on weight, chronic lower back
So
pain.
here's some of his results.
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't as available to my kids or my family as I wanted to be. I felt like my passions and goals had to suffer, all in attempt to try and build up or keep this thing going. So.
Wow.
I'm tackling it here. I think I made a decision that some of you are already starting to see in my channel, but that's why we're seeing those results in my channel, because I'm taking my life back. I'm attacking what I think is important, and I really do believe that I am more important than my work, but I think there's a harmony, so I'm looking for that balance right now.
That is fantastic. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, how many of you are ready to shake off this limiting belief, negative energy? Okay, has anybody showed you the official shake off of limiting belief energy? Oh, they haven't? Oh, yay, I get to be the first one to do it. Okay, it's really scientific. Everybody stand up. Okay, put your hands in the air. And this is what it looks like. It feels really good. Just try it. All you oracles that are out there going, I am not doing that. Just try it. Ready? Here we go. One more time. All right, that's great. Okay, now we're ready to do some shifting. Go ahead and sit back down. How many of you are ready to make a better choice about yourself? Okay, I need to hear more excitement about this than that. Woo! All right, that's great. Now, look at your limiting belief and ask yourself, what is a new, more empowering belief that will serve me better? And you guys can have all kinds of fun with this. I love words, so my new beliefs, my turnarounds, they're pretty fun. When you've got one and you'd like to share it, raise your hand. You're so excited about it, you just want to share it and declare it to all of us. It's okay. Think about it for a minute. Okay, stand up, tell us your name.
I'm Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
I am grateful.
I am grateful. Is that a powerful, positive, and present new belief? Yeah, that's awesome. Give him a round of applause. There is so much power in gratitude. All right, let's get another share. Tell us your name.
My name's Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
I'm faithful.
I am faithful. Wow, that's awesome. Give him a round of applause. That is very powerful. I love it. Okay, what are some others? Tell us your name.
My name's Anthony,
Hey, Anthony.
and I'm vibrant.
You can hand him the microphone so he can tell us that loud and clear.
Vibrant?
I am vibrant. I
Valuable.
love it. Valuable. Awesome. You guys give him a round of applause. Okay. This is what I hope you remember from this presentation today. Your experiences do not dictate your results. Just like this tree. It grew in hard circumstances, through hard experiences. We get to choose our beliefs, then our choices and our beliefs will determine our results. So one more time, our experiences do not dictate our results. I dictate my results. I am in control of my thoughts. And I love my life. I am amazing. Yes, you are. Thanks, guys. We're going to welcome Marianne back up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Amy Kraync.